Welcome to Voices of the Plaza, the podcast, hosted by Peggy MacArthur. This is where we amplify stories of empowerment, innovation, and success from the heart of the Global Business Plaza. Each week, Peggy introduces us to one of the creative business people, entrepreneurs, and industry experts who are shaping their fields and redefining success. Together, we'll explore unique journeys, highlight remarkable expertise, and uncover the inspiration behind their success.
Welcome to Voices of the Plaza. What an exciting show I have for you today. I am here with Deb from Herbal Eclipse, and I can't wait for her to introduce herself and tell us all about the amazing things that she's got going. Deb, how are you today?
I'm great, Peggy. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Always happy to share and talk about some of my favorite topics.
Exactly, right? So tell us a little bit about your story and your business. Tell us what Herbal Eclipse is.
Okay, so Herbal Eclipse is, we just launched as a brand new business, and we sell organic plant-based skincare products that are aligned with the 12 astrological signs. So I know that's an interesting, unique combination. So I will go in and tell you a little bit about my story, and maybe you'll see how it all comes together. I'm an astrologer, and astrology has just been something that I found to be a very practical tool. And it's not necessarily the type of astrology that you read in the papers, but this is the astrology of, well, the 12 signs represent universal energies, right? And it doesn't matter when you were born. We all have all 12 universal energies to some extent somewhere in our makeup. Some of us, if you're born a Leo, you'll have more of that Leo energy, right? That's one way of looking at astrology. At the same time, I've always been interested in herbalism. I've been studying herbalism for the past couple of decades, mainly because conventional medicine hasn't been able to help a lot of the issues that me and my family have been dealing with. And to my delight, I discovered that herbal remedies do help. So that's how I kind of became a real proponent of herbal remedies. And so I've always bought organic food whenever I could. I'm always looking to avoid toxins. This is just the way I tried. I tried to feed my family and get rid of so much junk that is in our food. So one day, as I was preparing for the big eclipse of last year, in April, I was making some of my favorite lotions and lip balms, and my son was around. He was helping me, and I was just saying, he's saying, well, why this? What does that have to do with Aries? I was like, well, Aries is like this, and I'm going on, and he goes, we should sell these products because we've had such great luck with the salves, with the teas, and why don't we sell your lotions and lip balms? And that is how it started. I combined my love of astrology, of herbalism, and natural organic products. And we made them for ourselves for so long. Now we're just making them for others.
I love that because it's actually something that you did for yourself. It was, I have a chronic condition called lymphedema. So my lymphatic system doesn't work properly. So toxins, your lymphatic system, moves the toxins so that your body can get rid of it. So toxins is a big, concern. I'm always like, what's in that deodorant? What's in that toothpaste? What's in that lotion? Like it's something that I've had to really be aware of for 27 years. Of course, I didn't know for the full 27 years, but I would say the last 13 to 15 years, I've been aware the impact that has on me and my health. So when I heard about this, I was like, that is really exciting. And of course, I got some, Aquarius energy happening right here. So that's always
not surprised to hear that at all.
Most people aren't. But I really thought that was a really cool way that you've woven that together, you've really taken a need that you and your family had, because you had health issues and you had, skin issues, and you were like, how can I fix this for myself? And then your son was like, so why aren't we helping other people? Why?
Yeah.
What's up, Mom?
But I do want to put out there that I think you're probably familiar, maybe some of your listeners are familiar. We're not promoting these products as a health solution. This is definitely a beauty, self-care, pampering, luxury products, right? And then if it clears up some of your skin issues, then you know what? So much the better, right?
Well, and things that help take away toxins and things that help take away stress. Stress is a very toxic factor, period. So when we're pampering ourselves in general, that's never a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, and this is what so many people don't realize, because I've had this conversation with many friends and acquaintances. I'll see them spending $400 on some super expensive cream, right? And then you look at the long list of chemical ingredients and chemical fragrances, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's got a lot of great anti-aging beneficial ingredients in there, but they're all counterbalanced by all the crappy ingredients in there. And some of them just won't believe me, because I think if it costs $400 and it's like this number one bestseller, then it's got to be great, right? But unfortunately, most skincare products, they have to use emulsifiers in order to get the oils and the waters to mix. And what people don't realize is that 98% of the emulsifiers used actually damage your skin. They dry it out, and it harms the skin barrier function. So, it's kind of like putting your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. You're trying to help your skin, and you're harming it while you're helping it. So, but people, there's a lack of awareness, which is one reason why we created the Herbal Eclipse experience. I know I'm just going to launch right into that, because that's our education place where we can help teach people about, first of all, what the benefits of some of the herbal ingredients that we do use, and the negative effects of the ingredients we won't use.
So when I was younger, my grandmother, she passed away in her mid-90s, and everybody thought she was in her 70s. And I remember she used to tell us kids, never tell a lie, drink water, and don't ever put any of those fancy creams on your face, and you'll always look young. And, and I've lived by that. I've never spent money on the fancy, because they're so full of toxic chemicals and, things like that. And now that's coming out. It's now, for many years, people were like, that's not true. But people are being aware of that now. People are realizing that these $400 fix all tonics. There we go. Tonics are actually toxic. So yeah, it's really cool. So I know you said your son was kind of like, hey, why don't we sell that? Was that kind of your aha moment where you were like, this could actually be an income stream, not just something that I do because I enjoy it and I'm passionate about it, but I could actually make money at this? Was that the moment, or was there other things that kind of like wove into that?
Well, the truth is that when he first suggested it, I wasn't so keen on the idea, just because I already had my hands full, didn't have a lot of extra time. But when he said that he'd be willing to partner with me, full partnership the whole way, I was thinking, you know what? This could work. This is something we could do. And yeah, I would love for this to become my main source of income, right? So kind of like making a living while doing some good or spreading some good. That's always fun, right? And it's also fun. It is fun making up these ingredients. And, we have our little lab where we've been testing out different essential oil blends, to make the scent that would go with the different astrological signs, in addition to the herbal infused oils that are astrology related. I have to admit, it's been a lot of fun.
So I've seen your your educational piece is still in the beginning stages, but I have seen it and it is amazing. And the amount of information that you're putting out there is really amazing. I also had the pleasure of going to your Aquarius new moon meditation. Was it last week? Has it been 2 weeks now? Anyway, a while back. And I loved that you gave so much education in that. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, oh, I'm going to go see what it is. And you talked about different oils and different, herbs and different things and how they affected us. And, it was just very interesting to me to think about how everything affects everything, and it really does. And, like I said, the things you put on your skin soaks into your body and it becomes part of you. And that's something that I think a lot of people take for granted and we don't think about it. We're like, I know my kids when they were young, they just put anything on their face and paint and this and that. And you're like, I don't know if that's safe. I don't know if you should do that.
Yeah. What's in that again?
So sure, that's okay. But, and then we grow up and we go spend $400 to put chemicals on our face or to take an injection of chemicals that are, horrifying. And so these are things that I love when people are talking about and sharing insights about.
And just to add to that, take a look at the ingredients in the food you're eating. Come on. The skin is the largest organ of the body. It absorbs everything. So keeping it healthy is actually a really important part of staying healthy. Your skin is your first barrier defense for your immune system. But think of what you're actually ingesting in the foods. And I'm not even just talking about all the weird ingredients you can't pronounce on the food that you eat, but just the vegetable and the fruit that you buy sprayed with toxins, right? You hear a lot about forever chemicals. They've been killing the bees. They're doing this. People were ignoring it and they still go to the supermarket and buy that fruit and vegetable. It's like, would you like some poison with your lettuce?
Like a cider poison with that?
Yeah. But it's the willful ignorance that surprises me, and I do get that there's a cost thing involved as well. Organic produce is very expensive. It's more expensive. But again, this is what we're eating. But can I just jump back to your talking about the new moon meditation? First of all, thank you for coming, and that was great. But one part of this is it's more of a holistic approach to living, right? We all heard the expression mind, body, spirit, right? The connection. We are multidimensional people. We are not just our thoughts. We're not just our feelings. We're not just our body and our looks. We are all of that and more, right? But there's also a connection to Earth. Astrology, people think it's all about the planets and the stars. It's up in the sky. Well, let's not forget that the most important planet in astrology is Earth, from which it's from the Earth's perspective that all of astrology works, right? It's not about, that's why we talk about, the sun moving across our birth chart. Of course, the sun doesn't move, but it does from the perspective of Earth. So Earth is the core thing. So we really, part of my personal approach is human beings, we need to reconnect to the earth, especially we live in cities, urban environments, technology, we live in front of our computers and TVs. It's really important to go out and connect to the earth. So that's another part of the reason why herbal ingredients are so powerful, because that energy gets absorbed into our skin along with the skincare product. So it's a way of connecting to the energy of the earth or reconnecting in a more holistic way.
I love having conversations like this. I always tell people that I'm a closet woo-woo. Like, I'm not woo-woo, but I'm totally woo-woo. Anybody that knows me. And by woo-woo, I mean, I think, our society's put kind of a negative, connotation with that. And I think it's because it's really hard to monetize that. And we live in a society where we want that, we want those chemicals. We want that instant gratification. We want that. We don't want to hear that it's our responsibility to take care of our bodies. It's our responsibility to to feed our bodies and clean our bodies and take care of our bodies. It's that we have something that we have to do in that. And even though it seems like a responsibility, it's actually a gift. I mean, it's fun to connect to nature and start realizing the energy that you feel when you take a minute to think about what you put in your mouth instead of just mindlessly like grabbing something and throwing it in the microwave. We haven't had a microwave in my house for decades, but that's just me.
I'm very impressed.
My sister came to visit a couple of years ago, and she was furious. And she's like, "I'm bringing my microwave." And I'm like, "Not in my house." And she set her microwave up on my back patio outside. And I was like,
My latest thing is trying to get the plastics out of my house.
it's hard. It's hard because the world we live in has not made that easy for us.
Yeah.
Because the world we live in doesn't want us to connect to the earth, because then we would have clarity, and then we would realize that this whole system that we're in is messed up, and we would start standing up and saying something, and everything is about like, shh, just have this, it's easy.
If I could make one request, it would be to outlaw the forever chemical pesticides. But I just want to go back to your comment about being, in the closet woo-woo. I think it's around 7-8 years ago is like when I finally came out of the woo-woo closet, and it was a big risk because my former career, I was a college professor, doing empirical research, and credibility was everything. And I knew I was taking a risk, exposing this aspect of who I am. But I realized that, if I'm going to live in integrity, I really have to show up as who I am. And this is a part of me, right? I'm a big believer in science. I'm a big believer in empirical evidence. And together with that, I have seen the powerful impact of astrology, of herbalism, and holistic living. There's more in this world than, Horatio from Hamlet had it right, than, we can dream of.
Yeah, exactly. And I too am a big believer in science and facts. And I have seen evidence that what people call woo-woo is very real. And science is proving that it is very, very real. In fact,
it is. There's getting to be more and more. Soon it's going to be the only way others can deny it is by denying their belief in science.
Yeah.
But there will always be things that are unmeasurable by empirical science. That's
Exactly.
just part of our universe.
That's because we live in such a ever-expanding, huge universe. But yes, and so I'm just gonna plug you a little bit here. Valentine's Day is coming up. It's just right around the corner. I think that some amazing gifts would be in order for Valentine's Day. So, do you have like gift ideas? Do you have things like, how do people get involved and start using your products?
Thanks for that. Yes, it is. It's a great Valentine's Day gift. I think skincare for men is a new and growing market, but women for millennia have been interested in using creams, and we want to look youthful, right? And we want to keep our skin healthy. But so what could be a better gift than products that are actually good for your skin and feel wonderful, right? So I would definitely recommend going to the herbaleclipse.care website to see the products up close. But get a collection of, say, I happen to have, here's a alchemy lotion we have, which is a lighter lotion. We also have alchemy butter, which is a very thick, rich, kind of like a deeply hydrating and nourishing cream butter. We have the lip balm, which I also happen to have one. And I just want to say, these aren't props for this call. These are on my desk all day long because I use them.
And now talk to me about the lip balm. talk to me about the lip balm, because here's my gripe about most lip balms
Okay.
is it feels great when you put it on, and then 20 minutes your lips are drier than they were before you put on the lip balm to start with.
Okay. Well,
I'm
first of
putting you
all,
on the spot, by
yeah,
the way.
first
I
of
don't
all,
know
it
anything
depends
about
on
your
the
lip balm.
ingredients, right? First of all, it depends on ingredients. Are they putting preservatives in there? Are those preservatives drying, right? And then, of course, the lip balms, being lip balms, are protective, right? Obviously, some of it's absorbed, but the idea is also to protect the lips as an external coating. That coating wears off. You need to put on another coating, right? But our lip balms, the first ingredient in each lip balm is either coconut oil or shea butter, right? They're rich, documentedly hydrating and great feeling oils. We do use a lot of coconut oil. Jojoba esters are so good for your skin and they feel so great. Very moisturizing. Grapeseed oil, and we'll use organic beeswax to give it the firmer texture. And here's what's interesting is that some people like, this is a different strokes for different folks kind of thing. Some people like lip balms that are harder and like a more waxier and harder to put on. Others like them softer and more, more melty, and somewhere in between. So and that's really depending on the formula and the ingredients. And we choose our ingredients based on the astrological sign that's associated. So some of our lip balms will have a harder wax. We use exotic butters as well, things that I'm not even sure how to pronounce, but they've been shown to be really good for skin, and they come, organic straight from the tree. And so some will be harder, some will be softer. So that's one way you can choose your lip balm. Depends on what will feel best to you, but you can try them because, like I said, they're different formulations depending on the sign. So find the one that speaks to you. And what will be really interesting is, there's different ways to choose which sign to go. You can start with your sun sign. Did you say your sun sign was Aquarius?
Yep.
So you can start with I always recommend starting with the sun sign is always a great place to start. But then try different things. So maybe get an Aquarian lip balm. And do you know what your rising sign is?
I don't.
Or maybe your moon, right? You don't have to know your birth chart to choose. You can just choose whatever you like. It's like, I've always liked Geminis. So try a Gemini. But try different products. And then when you find something that's like, oh, I really like this, and you discover it's Sagittarius, then I would say to you, okay, you are aligning, you have an affinity for this Sagittarius energy. So what is it about the Sagittarius archetype that it can benefit your life right now? So it's like so much more than just a lip balm or a squirt of lotion. It's like bringing the energy of that archetype. And as far as like the scents and the fragrances go, they're always all natural. It's all based on essential oil. Most of them organic. There are some essential oils you can't get organic. Maybe they're wild crafted, but we always only use highest quality suppliers we can find, sustainably sourced. But the point I wanted to make about the scents was, you just, when you're putting the lotion on, or when you're soaping up in the shower or washing your hands after a day at work, just breathe in, right? And it's not a perfume. The goal isn't to make it your favorite perfume, but that scent was chosen to align with that astrological sign. So breathe in some of that and activate some of that energy within, right? And if there's one scent that you chose something and it doesn't really speak to you, or you don't particularly like it, well, maybe the energy of that archetype, of that sign, is a little overexpressed in your life right now. Maybe you need to dial it back a little. So again, looking at could be, Capricorn. Maybe I'm overdoing the hard work. Maybe I need to relax and do a little more pampering. I don't know. Or it could be the opposite, because when we formulate these for a Capricorn, for example, we know Capricorns tend to work too hard and take on too much. So we will incorporate some of that more Cancer, chill, self-care energy. But what I'm saying is, spend some time reflecting on how you feel about the products. Turn it into a self-care. Meditate. As you know, as you're putting lotion on your body after a shower, just kind of think about connecting with the earth, connecting with the signs, and just open yourself up to the energy. You don't need answers. Just be open.
If you never ask the question, you're never going to get the answer. And a lot of times we forget to take the time to be open and be quiet and just allow the answer to show up. I love that. I'm glad I asked about the lip balms. That was way more than I was awesome.
Who knew? There was so much
to say about really awesome. Because I know there's certain things that like I just certain things that I just don't like, and it's like I've never stopped to think like, what is it about that thing that is like making me, an example. And this has nothing to do with you or your business, but this happened just yesterday. And I was like, this is the thing. So I was listening to a podcast, my husband and I were, and something that the couple said on the podcast just rubbed me wrong. And the weird thing is it's something that I've said multiple times before. But when they said it, I was just like, and finally I told him, I said, can you pause the podcast? We were driving. And he's like, yeah, what's wrong? And I said, I don't know. I really want to listen to this. And I'm like, I can't get over like why, and I talked it out, and I realized what it was in me that triggered me. And I was like, I can see that. And that's interesting. So I had to kind of like think about that. And that's really what you're giving us an opportunity to do with lotions and soaps and balms is like, how does it make you feel? Like, it's okay to think, oh, this feels really heavy and oily. I don't like this. I used to like that. I don't like that today. I wonder why. And then to maybe read and think, maybe I've got a lot of this energy in my life, or maybe I'm fighting this energy and I don't want to let it in and I need it. What is that? And so that's something that I hadn't thought of. I'm sorry, just everything like clicked in my head. Now, when you said that, I was like, that's really interesting. But I think that that's a really cool aspect on self-care. And I don't believe personally that self-care is going, doing your nails and doing a facial. I think self-care is, whatever we need to take care of ourselves. It can be lotions and doing things, or it can just be grabbing a lip balm and putting it on as you go out the door, and then just taking that moment to feel how it makes you feel. And I love that.
Can I just, that's the beauty of it is, you can just, we're rushing around. We all take on more than we can handle, right? You don't have to think about it. You're washing your hands and just go deep breath in, deep breath out, and then continue on your day, and you're getting the benefit, right? Put that lip balm on. You're getting, it's almost a passive way of getting some of the benefits.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So you've only been in business less than a year. You're just kicking this. I mean, you went from conception to here in less than a year. So you're like really just kicking this off. But what would you say? Because now I think, and I don't know if you've told me this, so I could be wrong, but the majority of your life, you've been like at a regular job. You've been in teaching, and, you've had a job. This is your kind of first entrepreneurial journey. Am I correct in that?
Yes, I did. I left higher ed about 7 years ago, and I did do some coaching. And I did. That's when I officially came out as an astrologer, and I've been doing astrological readings, and I still do them. But it's all recent for me.
Yeah. So what would you say was the biggest surprise that you have found since you have said, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this part of my business. And, what did you not expect to have happen that has happened in these last, 8-9 months?
Well, I think I have to connect it to what I mainly discovered when I started the coaching business. And that is marketing is very time consuming. It's the most important part of the business after the products themselves, right? So that is very time consuming. You definitely need help with that. And that's one reason why I joined the Global Business Plaza, because I saw that it would be a great benefit to the marketing piece. And that is one. The other thing that surprised me was how nice it would be to work with my son in doing this, right? A lot of times, a lot of solopreneurs, they're working so hard, working so hard, working so hard. It can be stress and tension. But, when we're sitting there making our essential oil blends and making our products, it's fun. It's also, family time. So
That's really cool. I think that's really cool. I think that was a good surprise. That wasn't like, oh my God, this was way harder than I thought. This was like, you know what? There were more benefits in it than I thought there would be. And I love that. I love that answer. So, is there one thing, if you could tell our listeners one thing you want to make sure they know about you, your business, or just any tip, what would you like to make sure everyone knows?
Well, obviously, I would love for them to try our products, but even if you choose not to, I encourage you to read the ingredients on the products you're currently using and look them up. One of the big challenges when we were formulating our products was preservatives. We didn't want to use chemical preservatives. There are some organic preservatives, but they're very finicky and it can be challenging. So a lot of businesses will just go for the chemical preservative just because in order to sell. And a lot of these big brands, they're in a warehouse for a long time, right? They have to have long-term preservatives. We make everything in, small batches, ship out. We don't have anything that really stays on the shelf for a long time. So, yeah, I think that was a long answer to what you were saying.
No, that's good. I like it. So the challenge is read the ingredients that you are using right now. Like spend a second and pull out the phone and take a picture of it and put it through Chat GPT and let Chat GPT explain to you what those things are.
Exactly. Yeah. And how it impacts your skin barrier function, how it impacts is it drying?
Right. And that's a small assignment. You didn't even tell them to like find out what they're eating. Like, look at what your deodorant is. Look at what your toothpaste is. Look at what your face cream is. Look at what your soap is. And
Yep.
yeah, that's awesome. Deb, I have so enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Just to remind everybody, you can find Deb and all of our other amazing businesses at globalbusinessplaza.com. You can find her in the directory, or you can just walk around the virtual plaza and just click around and you will find yourself in her store. And make sure you watch her videos and make a meeting and connect with her because she is a wealth of information, as you have all seen here today. So
thank you. Peggy, I forgot to add, we do have a 15% off special for Valentine's Day. Be Mine 2025 is the code.
Be Mine 2025.
Yes.
And
also visitors to the website, we also have 15% off your first order anyway. But if for someone for whom it's not their first order, you can get 15% off with Be Mine.
Very cool. Very good. So either give yourself a Valentine's gift or someone that you love and care about. It will be a fun gift to give. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys all next Thursday and we'll have a great week.